Hi friends, Renee Keese here with Carolina Creative. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here with card making ideas for you. Today I'm going to show you another sneak peek from the catalog, the new mini catalog that's coming. This is the September to December mini catalog that will be available the first week of September. So today what I'm going to play with is a Christmas stamp set, Joyful Tidings. This is going to be the first time I play with this. Haven't tried it yet, but I have an idea in my head, so I'm working my way through it. But I really like these partial wreath sprays. Obviously, if you stamp this in a full circle, it will make a wreath. That's not what I'm going to do today. I pulled some paper out from last year. This is from the Seasons of Green and Gold, and it's just a pretty leafy print. It almost has a little mistletoe look to it. But I've got a piece of paper here that is 4 by 5 1/4. And I did pull out old olive cardstock to go with this. So that's kind of my starting point. But my thinking was, I also have a circle die here. I'm going to cut a partial circle and then stamp what will be revealed behind this. So this is my goal. Let's see what happens when I try to do this. So I'm making my sandwich for my stamping, cut and embossing machine. I am putting the die on there and making my traditional 2-plate sandwich. Let me flip this down. Here's the stamp set I'm working with. You have some idea what that looks like. And right now my machine is sitting here. So let me crank this out and then I can get it out of the way and work some more on my work area right in front of you here. So I'm now going to have another piece that I can use for another card. I'm going to set that aside because that may come in handy. So here's my piece. I've got my card base. I have an insert, my white. I picked out like a pecan pie to go and to frame this. I wanted something to contrast, and I think this will make more sense when you see how I stamp and color this. This is just like I said, what's in my head. My goal was I could have cut this even smaller. Put this on here. I think what I'm going to do is glue it on there. I'm going to trim this. Glue it on there and then stamp it. I think, usually I don't like to do that, but I do think that is going to be the safest way to do it. Because I need to fit it very specifically inside that circle. So, yeah, I'm going to glue it together. So I have this lining up exactly on the edge. And then I want to stamp. And I guess even if I got ink and stamped on there, I'm playing here, folks. This is me experimenting. So let's do it. Let's see what happens. I'm going to dot my glue. Yeah, let me grab the other one. One of these just was not wanting to cooperate today. It's getting low, and that's part of the problem. Here we go. Dot some glue on, just enough to hold it. And then I can position it, line it up right on that edge. Yeah, perfect. And glue it down. A little bit of glue on my work table here. I think that's going to be okay. All right. And I've got Old Olive. There's a theme here with all my colors, but I've got Old Olive ink. So I've got this big old stamp. I thought this was going to be really pretty, and I'm going to stamp it for the first time, so we know that can be risky too. So I'm going to put it inside my semicircle here, since it's not a full circle, like that. Oh yeah, that's gonna work. Woohoo! All right, so while I've got this, I'm gonna play with the inside of the card too, because what I was thinking was, let's put just a little segment of this pretty wreath down in the corner, maybe on an angle. Yep, I like that. And then I have 2 different sentiments. I was going to put the little tidings of joy, and I think let's I'm going to coordinate this with my, my mat. So let's stamp Tidings of Joy this Christmas inside. What a delicate little stamp. Look at I'll have to hold this up in just a second. And then inside the card, may the wonder and magic of Christmas fill you with delight. Yes. Okay. Now, I'm going to play with my blends. I've already pulled some colors out here. So hopefully you can see where I'm going. There's orange slices. So I wanted to color those in orange. And I'm using my Stampin' Blends, and I may go back over this with the lifter to lighten it just a little bit, give it some shading. Here's an orange slice. Is that all the oranges? I think so. And then the pine cones. So this is where my two-tone color came in. I thought, let's color in the pine cones and just really make those pop. Yeah, and I'm going to lighten these too. So I'm just kind of dotting this on. You know, the color's buildable. I don't want these to be too dark. The green ink is showing, I can see it, it's showing through. I'll hold this up to the camera as I get it more complete. Now I pulled out my old olive, my dark old olive, but I'm thinking I need a lighter color. So let's go light old olive. And I don't think I want to fill all of this in. I think I want to just add a little bit of color. So I'm not coloring the whole thing. Just a little swoosh here and a swoosh there. Try not to go too heavy with it, basically. Giving it too much. Some of the other green does, you know, carry through. So I'm going to keep it light. Keep it light and keep it simple. And now I'm grabbing my color lifter. And that does happen sometimes. I'm finding that my blends are starting to crack. I don't know, because I've had them for a while, but they're definitely showing some age. I may have to spring for some new ones. So I'm trying to lighten kind of the inside of these images without going too much. I'm trying to let it work before I make a decision here, but that's hard to do. And then I need to do the same thing down here. So I've got a couple of pine cones. I'm going to make it match. No oranges here, just a couple pine cones and a little bit of greenery. But I think it'll be really sweet that it coordinates. Yeah, make sure I got the right tip. It coordinates with the front, and you'll have it on the inside here. So little color, and then here, here. And I like how the light old olive, beside the dark, this looks like a pine branch. It really shows the contrast. So it's a nice mix of colors. I'm trying to just sporadically add that. Okay, that's that. And that, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking for the card. I mean, that was actually very fast, very easy. So now when I start to assemble, I picked out a little gold, and I picked out, these were already tied, so these were left over from something else. The old olive. I'm actually liking the delicate gold with this. Okay, let me start assembling and see how this goes together. I really liked this stamp set when I saw it. It was something different. I'm sure I'll come up with some other ways to use this. So this was just a first pass that I was thinking, and you know, I've surfed a little bit on our demonstrator planning place to get some ideas. And, oh no, I can see that's just a little bit crooked, but I think it'll be okay when I get it all together. All right, so maybe I will use my tape runner for this. I do want to make sure this is going to adhere, and I've got 2 layers here. I usually like to do more layers than this on a card, but I just don't know that this one is going to need it. Could always add a sentiment, you know, as another layer. Could wrap this in ribbon. I mean, there's actually a lot of different ways that this could be put together. I was kind of trying to keep this one a little simple. So let me add a glue dot for my ribbon, my little gold twine here. Again, I'm using some of these things that are in my stash. I know we all have products, so I like to try to mix it up. And this is a new stamp set that's coming out in that September to December catalog, soon to be released. Now, I'm filming this in advance so that I would have some content to show because I'm actually going to be in Alaska on a cruise. So the Christmas theme is kind of good for me at this point because I'm going to go where it's a little bit cooler, and hopefully I'm seeing some good sights by the time I am posting this to the page, to my YouTube channel. So here we go. This was Joyful Tidings. I stamped the pretty wreath. I did a little coloring with the blends. This paper came from last year. This was from Seasons of Green and Gold. There are some new papers this year. I'm just not playing with them yet. I did coordinate with the pine cone color, you know, so I kind of put a neutral behind it. It's just something to think about. Put a sentiment inside and then just a little corner of the spray. So there's my first Christmas card. How about that? First Christmas card for 2025. So Joyful Tidings coming soon in September. Be on the lookout. If you like the projects and the products you've seen here, you can find me at Carolina Creative or hashtag Carolina Creative. I'm also on the Stampin' Up! Network. It's Renee Keese at StampinUp.net. Thanks for joining me.